Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for mid-May 2024. You have this card that says nothing will come of this situation. You also have this card that says a new romantic cycle begins. So there you go. I mean, every single reading, every single reading I do for you, Capricorn, is all about love entering into your life. So again, I know some of you aren't looking for love, but that doesn't mean that love isn't looking for you. So, again, take it how it resonates. But it does seem to me that if you want it, it exists and you can have it, of course. I do feel, this first row kind of represents your past position. And so I do feel some of you have maybe healed or are healing from a past situation in love with that Three of Swords. Three of Swords is really a card of forgiveness. Those swords are in your own heart, and you have to remove those swords so that you can, heal. And that doesn't mean you have to open up to love again, but it is a card of healing and needing to heal. So I do feel that for some of you. For others, it's kind of an interesting reading. It's like good, right? There's good stuff coming up here, but at the same time, I do feel that some of you are maybe going to be separating away from a situation, and it does not have to be love. I feel like I see some of you cutting out like a work or business situation in your life because it's like taking up too much time. You end with this TikTok card. It's coming up in the area of the good stuff. So I kind of feel like some of you are more in this energy of protecting your time. I feel like maybe you've had a lot of lessons in regards to time as well. Like maybe people taking up too much of your time or using too much of your time or whatever the case may be. You have the Two of Swords, and Two of Swords is like this or that thinking. I feel like there's like a middle ground here. Sometimes I don't really like the idea of a middle ground with the Two of Swords because usually, what happens with the Two of Swords sometimes is that both sides just don't get what they want. And so it's still not a good situation, right? So sometimes with the Two of Swords, I feel like just, moving on to a new situation is the best idea. But there could be, again, I do feel like if this is work-related or business-related, there could be some sort of good middle ground between you and a business you're working for or some business you're creating or, a company that you work for. And this could be like some sort of like negotiation or agreement. It's popping into my head. And I actually do feel that there is like a middle ground agreement that could be very helpful or could be something that you agree to. That's good. So, if you're like in work negotiations or if you're negotiating something, I do see you coming to an agreement. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is card of independence, card of gratitude and luxuries, kind of, says it's like a baby glow up as well, right? Capricorn, it's like pre-Empress energy. So I feel for a lot of you that you are trying to get your life to a certain point so that you can move forward. And this could be financially, it could be like you want to establish yourself or something like that. There's also something here. A lot of people have been getting these readings about focus. And she has this falcon right here. And then you go up to the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is like laser-like focus. It's being super focused on what you want in life or just being focused on accomplishing something. It is a victory, but we have to focus with the Ace of Swords. So let's, before I open my mouth more, let's see where this is going. With the Three of Swords, here you go. You have the Three of Pentacles. This says teamwork makes the dream work. Again, there could be some sort of negotiation if you work with a group or if you work for a group or on a group, right? And that's where this negotiation could be coming from. I would be careful also, like if you are, let's say you're doing things where you're pulling all the weight, like this guy here, this guy has done all the work. And so I kind of feel, and maybe this is what happens to you in relationships as well. Like maybe you end up doing all the work and the other person doesn't do anything. And so this could be like a lesson you've learned, or it could be something that you are kind of, this could be something that you're figuring out so that you can be more successful in the future. With the Two of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. It's like some sort of disappointing situation here. I would, like one thing I will say here, Capricorn, that I am getting is also like, let's say you want to leave your job and your boss is like begging you to stay or whatever, but you really want to leave. I feel like this is saying like you don't owe them anything, right? If you want to leave, leave. And, this is saying, I kind of feel it's saying there's no use beating a dead horse. It's like sometimes I think we're just ready to go. We're just ready to leave a situation. And if we stay, really things aren't going to get better. So I can't, there are certain questions that I can't answer for you, right? And so I can't answer this question for you. I don't know your exact situation, but I just get this feeling that some of you are like staying in something out of an obligation, or maybe your boss is guilting you into staying or whatever. And I feel like this is saying no, like the victory comes from cutting whatever this is out. And I do feel for a lot of you that this is something financial or it's work related. And I kind of feel like the sooner you end it, the better. Like I said, I do feel for some of you, if you really feel that you do want to stay and that there's a favorable agreement that you come to with that Two of Swords, I still think that's a possibility. But again, you have to be honest with yourself, right? With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Moon. The Moon is a lot of Moon energy this week, which is interesting as well for this second half of the month. So the Moon is kind of like a lack of clarity and, it's imagination, secrets, not being able to see very clearly. And it's a card that says get control of your emotions. So I would definitely make sure that at this time that you are kind of watching, again, how you feel about things and making sure that you're really tapping in to your emotional center and really listening to yourself. That's pretty much what I would do there. Funny enough, next in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this Vulture Spirit says nothing is wasted. You have this Moth Spirit says surrender now. I think that you're surrendering to you focusing on something that you actually want to be doing in your life. The Vulture, vultures are conservations of energy. They practice conservation of energy, I should say. And you have that TikTok card. Again, I don't want to say like you're wasting your time on something, but, I feel like some of you could be working on a project or, something in work or career. And it's just like maybe you realize it's a waste of time. And some of you, I feel like need to conserve your energy. And that, I would protect yourself from that. But I would also say like people, places, and things. If there are things in your life that waste your energy, conserving your energy is going to be much more worth it. I feel like you're surrendering to your feelings. Like you're just saying, I'm going to listen to myself here. And I realize, that I realize that this is not going to be right. Like what I'm doing here. So I feel like you're surrendering to your feelings kind of. You have the Five of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is like feeling left out in the cold. Interestingly enough as well, you have the Page of Pentacles here. And so there could be a new person that's coming in for you, which I'm pretty sure every reading that I've been doing for you recently has been about love. So again, I think that it's time for you to kind of like come out of the cold if you are one of those people that does want a connection. There could be a very strong connection coming in for you. It could be another Earth sign. You have Page of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Most importantly, King of Pentacles is a person who really wants to work on something long term, who really wants to create something that lasts for a long time. So you could be attracting a person who really wants to make things last, who really wants to, work on the connection and, all that other good stuff. So, that's what I would focus on here. I would also focus on healing if you're like not completely healed. I am almost positive that your last reading I did, I can't remember what reading that was, but I'm pretty sure in your last reading we talked about this, about, kind of making sure that you're taking the time to heal so that you can be prepared for something better. You have the Ace of Swords. The center card in a 9-card spread is the best card in the 9-card spread. It's the most important card. So the Ace of Swords would be like a big victory coming in for you. And I've been seeing a lot of aces in the readings for the second half of the month. So that's great. There could be really positive new beginnings coming in for people. But I always say like the Ace of Swords cuts both ways. So the Ace of Swords really represents victory, but sometimes it says you have to let go of one thing so that you can have the new beginning or have the victory. And what do you know? We go down to the Fool. So it's like you have to cut something out so that you can have something new. It literally says it right here. So, I would definitely encourage you to focus on something new. You have the Page of Pentacles. These two cards together, this could be communication. So you could be receiving communication from a person, or you could be also communicating with a new person. I also get something here about like good news, but we're gonna have to see what that is. Yeah, with the Five of Pentacles, see, this makes me think like no back and forth, right? To me, this makes me think with that Two of Swords, even though I still feel that for some of you, you could be coming to a favorable agreement. Like I said, you could be negotiating, your salary or something like that. I still feel for most of you maybe now that there's like a better situation coming in for you is where this reading is going. Five of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold. But the Five of Pentacles doesn't have to really be that big of a deal. It could just say that if you choose to stay in this job or in a career or in something that's less than favorable, that you're really just cheating yourself out of something great. So I kind of do feel that this reading in a lot of ways is saying, everything is in front of you. There's nothing behind you. And maybe that's what you need to realize here. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Ace of Swords. So the universe saying I meant what I said. And, definitely I feel this could be a big victory for you. The Strength card can be a display of strength. And it's kind of popping into my head that maybe some of you are doing something like sticking up for yourself or, even leaving a situation. And doing that could require a lot of strength from you. But by doing it, you are being seen as being strong. So I definitely see that as well. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, 2 aces. This could be a very passionate connection with the Ace of Wands, but also, the Ace of Wands really represents out with the old, in with the new. So it's kind of like another sign that you could be moving towards a new choice or a different decision, or you could just be moving in new directions in general. And I think those new directions are going to be, very successful for you. You have the Mending card and this TikTok card. This is coming up in the area of the good stuff. So, time heals all wounds, to give a little bit of a cliche saying here. But I do feel that you are more healed than you have been. And I kind of feel like it's time for you to take a leap of faith. Again, for those of you that want love, I would definitely encourage you to get out there, get on dating sites, do whatever you kids do nowadays to find love. I would put something out there. I would get started. For the rest of you and for all of you, really, I think it's just time for you to kind of, step into this. It's time to be strong. I feel like you are strong, right? But I feel this is saying it's time for you to show the world everything you've been learning. And we do that by sticking up for our boundaries, by saying no to a situation that just isn't right, or whatever is going on here. I think it's different for all of you. It feels very general to me, so I think it's going to be different for all of you. But by doing it, she is sticking her hands in that lion's mouth, and it is a display of strength. What she is doing requires strength, and people are seeing it. So it could be that, people in your life are kind of really seeing what you're made of, which all your readings have been about you kind of showing off, but not showing off in a bad way. We're talking about, showing off in a good way. And that's what I would be doing here. You have the King of Pentacles. So again, if you are worried about love, I feel that you could be attracting a person like an earth sign or someone with the earth in their chart that want something permanent. I really like the King of Pentacles for love. They're people who really want to put the work in, who really want to make things happen. And they're also usually very secure in life as well. So this could be a person who's, very well established, who's, who has their life together, who isn't a mess. And, of course, that's what I'd be looking for. I think everybody should find that. I also feel that you are making improvements to your finances. I mean, really good. I would say this summer, I would take advantage of it if I were you, Capricorn, to do whatever you can to improve your finances. It looks really, really good. You have the Fool. Again, I feel like you're going to take a leap of faith here. I do feel like some of you, even though this is showing up in the good stuff, I feel like some of you are afraid of looking foolish, but if you're taking some sort of leap of faith. But again, you have the Strength card. I feel that really you're going to be seen as being strong. It's no one's going to think that you are foolish here with this energy. So, it really looks really good to me. So, let's see. With that Strength card, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands card of expansion and growth, and it also kind of says what are you waiting for? But it's coming up in the good stuff. So again, that would kind of tell me that maybe you've been waiting for your ships to come in. But I actually feel you're being bold and you're swimming out to the boats. You could be getting on those boats, and it's you're not waiting. I feel like you're going and getting something, right? Let's put it that way. Maybe that's a better way to say it. I feel like you're kind of making something happen instead of waiting for something to happen. With the King of Pentacles, yes, you have the Judgment card. You could be waking up to a person, as in maybe you know a person and you're finally kind of waking up to the fact that they would be a good person for you to be with, or it could be a good person for you to date. And so I feel like that could be what's going on here with the Judgment card, is that you're kind of waking up to an opportunity. The Judgment card also represents stepping into a new life, which it seems like you are. With the Fool, you have the Nine of Cups, everything you want. The Nine of Cups is total fulfillment. So again, I feel for some of you, this right here is kind of saying you're healing from something here, and you're taking maybe a little bit of a risk or a leap of faith on something that is going to lead to fulfillment in your life with that Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups also tells me, kind of the whole entire reading, including the Strength card as well, really says to me that you've done a lot of work on yourself. Nine of Cups is about being in perfect alignment with what you want. So this tells me you've done a lot of work on yourself, and now you're in alignment with your desires, and because of that, you're getting what you desire, right? So that looks amazing to me here, Capricorn. I love where this is going. So we're gonna pull 5 main themes and see what else wants to come up here. You have this Enthusiasm card. Yeah, I'm this summer for you is great. And I would double down on it just so you can get more out of it, right? So anything you're working towards, any new ideas you have, I think you're going to be enthusiastic, happy, excited to be working on new things in general. And that's what I would focus on here with that Enthusiasm card. You have this Exaltation card. I love this card because it basically says the universe is blessing you. The universe is kind of, putting more energy into your life. And so things can work out a little bit better for you with that energy. Let's see. You have this affair card. Yes, there is. I'm telling you right now, there is love coming in for you, whether you want it or not. Even if you don't want it, again, there could be a person where you're like, you know what, I'll give this one a chance. So again, don't be surprised. And again, of course, I'm not telling anyone that they have to accept love into their life, but it is here if you want it. And again, this is not like a cheating affair. This is like a good love affair. Next, you have this criticism card. Two of Swords. Again, maybe you're in a situation where there's too much criticism, or maybe you're in a situation where you're pulling all the weight, that's more what I get intuitively, is that you are working on something where it's like you're doing all the work. And so I would, which is fine. Like sometimes that's okay if you're getting paid accordingly, right? So I would make sure you're getting out what you put in. And finally, you have the submission card. Yeah, the time is now. I feel that for a lot of you, there's this bird and it's in this cage, but the cage door is open. So it kind of says like you have to set yourself free at this time, and that's what's going to lead to the most success for you. But this looks pretty good for you here. I feel like you're like going and getting something really. It looks really good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.